Oop. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. How about yourself? Are we in the right meeting?
Sorry, my meeting. Yeah, I was
Cool.
just went with pop in. Let's do some
Cool.
other stuff. Okay, let's do it. I'm ready. So this is a continuation of the last meeting. I'll share my screen.
Yeah, and I've had to miss some meetings since the
That's
last
okay.
work, so due to work things. So I'm gonna mostly be
Uh,
catching up at this point.
all good. That is a-okay. I will send you the link that we're focusing on. And I will give background information. Josh, I don't know you, or John, that's it, John. I don't know you very well. What do you do for a living?
Gotcha. So I'm a senior application engineer at Crumware, and so I did some work with this on the initial reviewing the initial model.
Right.
Um, And so I have not gotten into any of the deep dive meetings yet, but yeah, Crimware is a consultancy. We are partnered up
Where do I
with
find this?
Sue,
Crimware. How do I spell this?
KRU. So go to crumb.io. Yep, like that.
Okay,
Yeah, there you go. And so we are
gotcha.
partnered up with SUSE and some other companies, Sivo, doing lots of Rancher stuff, platform dev. So.
You know. Okay, so it sounds like this is right down your alley.
Yep, yep.
Okay, good deal. That being said, yeah, so for context, so I'm kind of in charge of the investment section. We basically split out in a bunch of different sections, right? Or a few different sections. I think the bigger papers here. So I'm just trying to kind of organize each of these. So each of them have their own like leads and people that are kind of doing stuff. Um, I've chosen intentionally not to look at theirs yet. We're until the meeting next week. So I can kind of like work a bit more independent or have ours like kind of just be like a original idea instead of just kind of copying, oh, that looks good. Let's just
Yeah,
backfill
yeah.
that here.
Gotcha.
We'll probably that's how it'll most likely go is someone will have a superior strategy. And we'll to make the flow of the paper so it doesn't look like we're writing like five different papers, we'll need to conform. Um,
Right.
but yeah,
Similar to what
so
we did with the model overall.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So just having some conversation about what's good, what's bad, what's ugly, what's beautiful, stuff like that. So yeah, so with the model overall, obviously this is the investment section. So kind of the way that took it was so started with we did a few things, but what I want to I'm trying to think of what to focus on for this one. Maybe to finish out the background. I kind of just had like a rough draft based off of the levels that were listed here. So these four, and then just kind of broke them down. I used some of like the old paper stuff to kind of like fit some things in, and then refined based off of the changes that we had made. And so kind of what I ended up doing was having like bullets for like a description of this, like what this is,
Mhm.
and with the goal of like being able to turn this into paragraphs, that it doesn't just stay like bullets, but turn in paragraphs, see how that looks, and probably keeping the bullets around with the paragraphs going into the meeting next week. So same thing with the rest of them. Kind of got bullets for each that describe what we're attempting to say through this word. Um, So yeah, that's a lot of what this meeting was supposed to be about is um putting like refining make sure we refine the descriptions. Actually, so sorry, all over the place. So the definitions, I'm remembering myself what we did. So the definitions, I haven't they also need a little bit more refinement. So kind of the way I was looking at it was like, okay, we've got this word. We need to find the word succinctly, and then there's descriptions for that definition of what are we trying to say through this. Um, and so ones without definition, I struggle to like succinctly like find, which is basically all of them except for the first one. But now that
Gotcha.
we've described the descriptions, that was kind of what we spent last time doing. I was like, oh, okay, I'll go back and fill out the definitions, which I just haven't got an opportunity to do. And then we'd spend this meeting kind of talking through what kind of paragraphs would generally look like, and then I can try to give it a swing. All that makes sense. Any questions on that?
Yep, it does. I'm kind of scanning through them right now. I'm liking
Mhm.
what you have so far. Makes sense. So yeah.
Yep. Um, okay, so yeah, I feel good about this first one. What we were trying to kind of having a little bit of debate over was this. So the reason that I didn't like voluntary or temporary, specifically because the list it gives nouns, right? So we've got a bunch of nouns. So
Mhm.
one of them is technical cost center, then product budget, then profit center. But then we're saying voluntary, temporary, those are adjectives. So why are we using adjectives? We got to stick with one or the other. Is it trying to make a noun
Gotcha.
that's describing this role? So I use tactical instrument. Uh, in the working group meeting, people didn't love that either, but they agreed with that it needed to change. Um, Tactical instrument just sounds kind of strange. Like what is that? Why what
Right.
is a tactical
It's
instrument?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's just a question mark. I think the general idea is right. I think if you've got a better word for this, and that just kind of comes to mind, feel free to say it. But for
Okay.
now, it's tactical instrument. Um,
I
so yeah,
like
just
the means to an end. That's good wording, I think. Just putting out fires. Yeah.
mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
putting out fires are just there's just a short-term goal that you're just trying to meet so you can whatever, you know. So yeah, I think that's just very like easy and logical to understand. So it starts to get a little more complicated when you get to technical cost center. Um, yeah, the general idea that we're trying to get across is that there's intentionality with this one, right? There's a budget that's separated out for the platform. So it's being like in some way prioritized at a organizational level. However, the way that it's viewed is like, this is just another thing that's like an expense that is just going to like take money away from us, right? So that we can, again, meet this means, not as much seen as like, um, man, this is something that could bring great results that can help amplify our company or amplify our organization. Um, and so, yeah, I think another description we put where employees are intentionally spending time building the platform, that time is to be used as minimally as possible. It's kind of like if you get around to it, it's like for sure finish these tasks, but as soon as you can get away so that we can do the real work,
Right.
you know.
Right.
Um, Likely thinking about the quickest way to solve the problem instead of the most impactful way to reach a longer term solution. Yeah.
Yep.
High
Makes sense.
costs lead to unfounded headcounts. Yeah, I'm reading this for myself too. I just forgot what we wrote. Deep understanding of value, which makes this unsustainable over time. Yeah, that makes sense. Efforts is no longer strictly tactical, but strategy still isn't thought all the way through. Yeah, well said. Um, okay, so I need a succinct word for this, or not word, phrase for this. Maybe like a technical cost center is um, allocating um,
Maybe let's see. I'm thinking more of like it's kind of at this step that there is, so we're going into just investment, right? But it's at this
Yeah.
point where like there is something that is actually sustained. It's not just a one-off, like put out this fire.
Mhm.
It is at this point, has gotten to the point where it's sustained, and can actually go from project to project, potentially. And so I'm just throwing out ideas. And
Mhm.
so maybe there is budget now because there is this thing that is apparent, that is going from project to project. So part of the budget is funneled towards maintenance of that at this point. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. The platform is a sustained expense. Is an allocated. Yeah, let's try that. Is an allocated sustained expense at a from an organizational, but still viewed as um still viewed as a means, since we've kind of already got that being used. The platform is an allocated sustained expense at an organizational level, at a uh, yeah, maybe this is, what do you think about that? It's good enough for now, at least. We don't have to, we can always improve it. It's just something to kind of put some words to it.
Victor actually put something in chat. I
Oh,
just saw.
That was combination of Google search and ChatGPT.
LOL. Let's try it. Let's see what we got here. Practical implementation and allocation of resources, both financial or non-financial, um, to support and sustain technical endeavors within a designated unit. Yeah, I feel like it's too broad, right? We have to hit this like level. I'm with you. It is a practical implementation and allocation of resources. I like that. Platform is a resources. And this is already discussed above that both financial and non-financial to support and sustain technical endeavors. Okay. Um, used to support, I like that kind of phrase, technical endeavors. Um, but seen as an expense to the larger organization. As in, let's keep it. I'll keep it.
The platform is, or it should be the investment level is.
The platform is seen as a means to an end at this stage. The platform itself.
Right after definition, the platform is a practical implementation. Is this about the platform or is about the
Oh,
investment
good question. The
level?
platform, good question. The platform is a practical implementation allocation. Yeah, good question. The investment is a practical implementation. Okay, yeah, I'm with you.
Investment level?
Investment. the investment
level,
level,
because this is the level of that
right?
investment.
This investment level, is that what you're trying to say, like this?
Yeah,
Practical.
this that doesn't matter.
I'm not really sure. Is the level itself a practical implementation and allocation of resources? I don't know. I'm not liking this sentence anymore. Because so the first one, we just kind of have a simple, strictly tactical approach to investing in the platform. It's a means to an end. I think because this isn't perfect, right? This is just like a general idea.
Now that we're kind of at a
It's-
pause in thought here, I kind of went back and was thinking about tactical instrument and was thinking maybe as needed instrument, or like using that wording as needed might be better than tactical and more defined instead, because like what is tactical, right?
Agreed. As needed instrument. As needed
Yeah.
instrument. Is there another? Is there like a one word? Is there
Yeah,
something? There's got to be a one word
synonym
for
for as needed.
yeah, that's exactly it.
Pro Renata.
Not needed. Or nada. Gotcha. According to this.
Going Latin, I guess.
Ad hoc, maybe? Ad hoc.
Yeah, okay.
But
Well, yeah, so maybe ad
there's
hoc
already
investment.
a ad hoc
Oh,
investment.
but that's measurement. So
Yeah,
it does, I mean, that's not mutually exclusive to
it's
investment, right?
not, but
Yeah.
that gets back to the original issue. It's a
Yeah.
descriptor instead of like a noun again.
Um,
Ad hoc. Ad hoc. Maybe an ad hoc tool. An instrument, ad hoc tool. Um,
um,
Casual is also a synonym to ad hoc. Look like
what is it?
casual, CASUAL.
Casual. Casual, I feel like it's too broad. You can use casual in a lot of like ways, like dress casual or just kind of hanging casually. And casual
also
doesn't
throwing
always connotate bad. Yeah.
also want to throw out the word required, so like required only investments maybe, because that's kind of like getting to, like, I don't like that necessarily either, but in that I do like that direction because it's, you know, basically at this point it's only what's required to get the job done, right? That's all that we're investing.
Weird. Okay, I'm gonna be more open to that. Required tool. So tool that's used out of sheer necessity.
Yeah, I'm actually liking that more that I think about it.
Yeah,
Required, maybe required tooling.
required tooling. There you go.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, switch to suggesting required.
Eventually, AI will either people will all agree with AI or AI will agree with people. One English will be affected by AI.
And then I do actually like the word tactical there, in the definition, like it's strictly tactical, only what we need.
Yeah, I got it.
Me as means to an end. Yeah, I dig that.
Yeah.
Maybe I do like the word sustained there, if we can
I like to
get
sing
that in.
too. Let's go back. Yeah, let me just need to change modes again. There we go.
So maybe emergence of sustained platform
Okay.
and associated
Yeah.
budget for platform maintenance.
Form, creation and maintenance, really, at the create as well,
Sure. Yeah.
creation, maintenance. Um. However, isn't incorporated within the company's long-term,
Priorities. Yeah.
yeah, strategic goals. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good enough
I
for
like it.
now.
I like it. I like it.
Let's keep that. Good teamwork. Let's go. Okay, product budget. Okay, so this one, the word that was used quite a bit was product mindset. So, seeing the platform as something that needs to be like sold and marketed out to others in an intentional way. The platform begins to be recognized by the organization as a product in itself. That the
So
value of the platform can be measured. What are you about to
gotcha.
say?
The way I'm seeing this is kind of like this is the switch between we're selling product and we're selling platform, right? Or it's like that cusp point. And so the money is going to logically follow. And so how do we put that into words? Um,
Uh, okay, the investment into the platform is approached product mindset.
okay, I like it.
Mindset, allocating time and resources, time. Actually, that's already implied. Product mindset was the investment. Um, allocating resources. With
Customer,
because mhm,
maybe with
what
a
about that?
customer driven approach, because product mindset is for customer, right? So
Right.
allocating resource with a customer driven approach.
I like that. With the customer, I'm already using approach here. We have to, the customer, I like the idea though, with a customer driven, I guess I don't know. Define, they should have a synonym bar here. Customer driven progression. Driven. Okay, allocating resources with both.
To platform team, to a platform team.
Um, sorry, where?
Allocating resources, maybe like we
I
throw in
see.
there like that there is actually like employee resources being like a team, right?
Or so that's a good question. So is this where a team comes in, or is a team already in with the technical cost center? In my head, I think you can already have a team at level 2.
Right, yeah.
Um, platform stakeholders. The What do you guys think about that? The investment into the platform's approach with the product mindset, allocating resources with both the platform stakeholders and the overall organizational strategic picture in view. So you
Maybe
find,
have something in there about KPIs because we do have that it can be measured at this point, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Feedback loop, maybe something about feedback loops. Feedback loops will drive decisions about future, about sustained investment or about um uh concerning and this implies that there's some type of feedback or measurement that's happening that's giving us an idea of how well things are progressing or not progressing amongst our
maybe
stakeholders.
instead of feedback loops, have something like established KPIs to kind of integrate that into the definition.
Yeah,
Or
I like
drive
that.
decisions.
Establish
Yeah,
key
okay.
performance indicators. Two. Okay.
That is so technical.
Good enough for me for now. And then last definition, profit center. This was the hardest one for me to get it. Last meeting I had like literally just a question mark here. I was like, what is the difference between this and then a profit center? But yeah, we came to different companies treat various activities as cost centers or profit centers. It's kind of like where the idea, I guess, kind of came from for some of these. So either you're spending money on it or it's making you money, kind of like assets and liabilities. So it's just an expense, or this is something that's really genuinely helping. It really should be liabilities versus assets. Versus assets. Example, QA teams are a cost center to some companies. I don't think I finished this thought. QA teams are a cost center to some companies, while I guess a profit center to others, depending on the perspective of the team. Profit center should be, I see. Not just depending on, I guess, on how the metrics are collected to support the something like that. So kind of she was making this point that like especially with a lot of these KPIs that you're building up at this point, right? You should not only be able to measure like the success or failure of the platform, but you should be able to put it into like monetary value, that profit centers are generating positive income on the company's value sheet. Like we should be able to kind of like we would with other products, be able to show this is the value that it's generating. Yeah, and that value is increasing, not decreasing.
Right. Okay.
How do I put that in words? um, I kind of actually liked this last thing we said. The team uses data-driven approach. Right, this was taken from an earlier definition. I really like this actually. The platform. Let me put this here. Maybe we can revise this.
So the level 3 and 4 is kind of overlapping in a way.
They are, and that's intentional.
Kind of product mindset, strategically
Mhm.
driven.
Yeah, I think it's kind of it does. You're absolutely right. They do kind of overlap, right? You're establishing the KPIs in this one, but I think in this one, this is where I think we can refine this. Is I don't think you're just establishing the KPIs, but the KPIs are driving forward like optimized results. Like I think this is not just like we have the information about how we're doing, but rather we don't just have the information, we're seeing success in the results of like, what our unit of measurement is, which for most organizations is money.
So in other words, level 3 is about the mindset. Level 4 is actual implementation.
Yeah, I would say so. That's how this is where I think we can have more dialogue. But I think when I think about optimized and scaled, I think you can't scale without having the right like mindset around scaling and having the proper infrastructure around the scaling. But I think optimizes you actually see like improved performance, like optimized performance. I'm sure that can be debated, but yeah, I'd say good enough for me. So I think the platform team uses a data-driven approach to analyze and drive efforts across the organization to increase company profit. So that's pretty important, to increase company profit, either by adding features, streamlining technologies, or working with teams to maximize their efficiency. What do you guys think? That's fine with me. But I'm open to us revising it more.
So one thing that I'm sorry to like go on a tangent again, but I'm
Go for
circling
it.
back to the technical cost center. I agree with what you said about like you put a comment, might be good to define what technical cost center means. So that
Mhm.
wording to me also is, I think I would agree with you that it's doesn't have a whole lot of it's more generic. And I
Mhm.
don't have like I don't know what that means just from the words themselves.
Agreed.
And we
Yeah.
use the same thing with the center down with the profit center. So like, what do we mean by
Mhm.
center?
Yeah, I think that's where this kind of comes in, right? I think the concept that's labeled here, and this may be something that might be good to even put into the like summary beforehand, is kind of like talking around the concepts of like the kind of the cost center idea, um, and why we incorporate it into like this sort of like unit of measurement. Um, yeah, because I agree, like just at face value, I'm like, what does all that mean? Without having like, if she hadn't explained it to me the way that she did, I would be like, oh, okay, I'm not really understanding, but now I understand, like,
Gotcha.
okay, like, gotcha. There's a cost center. It's just something that is just like it's a expense that's on your book. It's a means to an end. That's all that it is um I need to pay someone like for like an organization, right? Like I need to pay someone that's greeting people at the door. And man, I
Okay.
hate that I have to pay this person that's greeting people at the door, but that's some like for some reason that may be like a necessary expense. There's maybe old people that walking into this business that, I don't know, whatever.
Okay.
But it's
Okay.
just seen as
That
an
makes
expense
sense.
instead of like a profit center being like, man, like this guy at the door, like I've done the analytics,
I'm coming
whatever.
back here because he's here. Like, yeah.
Exactly. He's here, and man, this is really driving like progress
Yeah.
for the company's
Okay.
strategic goals, right? Whatever.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, but it'd be great if we could find a way to like, I think potentially, and that's maybe a suggestion I'll put here.
Also, I was looking at the emergence of sustained platform and comes with an associated budget. I think we can make that more succinct by just saying emergence of sustained platform budget. Just
Which
cutting out
part?
some the definition for level 2. Because yeah, I was looking at it and it seems a little bit redundant for us to say like sustained
With an
platform and
associated,
comes with an associated budget. Just say like emergence of sustained platform budget.
or just the same platform budget. I gotcha. Yeah, good
And then we
point.
can, yeah, and then we can cut out
On all
uh
this,
yeah, basically just say for sustained platform budget for creation maintenance. Maybe I don't know. I don't,
um, emergence of sustained platform budget.
or do we just say that just emergence of sustained platform budget?
Um, I think let's. do you think about that?
Yep. Sounds good.
I like that. I think that's nice. I think it's so nice. I think this is at least something to kind of work off of.
Mhm.
So now the hard part is getting paragraphs. This is gonna take time. The time for this may not be now. Yeah, what I might do. Yeah, I'll probably work on this like steadily over the next couple days leading up to the thing on, what is that, Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday's the next dialogue. Yeah, and just kind of put some of this stuff into like more succinct like words that are, paragraphs. Yeah, and if you guys are wanting to help with this and you guys have time, feel free to just like hop in and write stuff. If not, I totally get it. Things are busy.
Cool.
But hopefully we can kind of make a little more progress forward before the meeting. Yeah, I don't think makes much sense to necessarily write here. I don't do the best writing in front of people anyway.
Yeah,
But I think this
I
was
have to
really
feel like
helpful to
focus.
at least, exactly. Yeah, I think this was good to at least focus on like having more succinct definitions for all these words. I think that'll help for us to write more words that are focused instead of just like a bunch of stuff. So
Okay, cool.
yeah, I thought it was good progress.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for joining. I know that wasn't super long, but I don't think it needed to be super long. I think it was just hopefully get more perspectives and to even just talk it out a little bit more. I think it's helpful because I'm still trying to get the idea in my head. So yeah, I just appreciate you guys.
Yep. Thanks. Till next time.
Cool.
Thanks.
Catch you.